saying I'll give the Ozempic your mainlining a rest, you fat, treacherous lawn chairs.
Fuck off, douchebags.
Yeah,
Lawn chairs?
Hey guys, Jeremy West with Civitas Law Group here again with my friend Josefa Rodriguez with Gallagher and Kennedy.
Hi guys.
And we are reviewing another should-be family law type show. This one is called All's Fair?
All's Fair?
All's Fair with Kim Kardashian. We're so excited.
I'm excited. I want to know and see how she does.
And I'm being sarcastic. This is going to be a train wreck. But okay, let's check it out.
And often we see boardrooms that are full of
I've seen your
white
faces
guys.
in those meetings.
And maybe a
I was
token
the
white
token woman.
woman or just a token woman in the boardroom.
So you're saying this is real for firms.
The big law firms, this is typical.
Okay.
I was the
My firm only has one white guy in the boardroom, I have to confess.
Are you looking in the mirror?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's me.
Has come. You can take one person with you, a staff member or a lawyer, not a client.
So it's very rare when you can find a law firm that is only run by women for women clients, because now you're just cutting your pool of clientele in half right there. And the one thing that the character played by, I think it was Glenn Close, was saying you could take one staff member, whether it's staff or an attorney, but no clients. Sorry, when you're leaving a law firm, it's your client who chooses if they're going to go follow you. I've done this several times where I've left law firms over the years and joined a bigger law firm, and I've taken my clients with me, but it's about notification to those clients saying, I am leaving this law firm. This is the law firm I'm going to. You can choose to stay here, or you could continue with me knowing I'm fully representing you. So her saying you can't take any clients, it's the client choice at the end of the day. So that's wrong.
Be quiet while I'm talking. And tell your two brothers I said to shut up too. Until I find out which one of you degenerates wrote on my couch with a Sharpie, I'll clear y'all asses and sleeping on the lawn. You understand me? Hold on.
8-year-old triplet boys that you were just cussing out on the phone?
They're monsters.
We'll make you full partner and a multi-millionaire within 2 years.
I mean,
Let me get my purse.
yeah, I'm going to get my purse too if I can get that sweet deal. But often when you're leaving firms and you want to take a team that you can rely on and you know you can work very well, sometimes it is that type of secret hallway running between offices to say, hey, I'm going to make my own law firm, come with me. But sometimes it's a work in progress. You know, you kind of put out your feelers, and here it looks like they just did it cold.
So the thing that I was thinking of in this scene, they said, we want you to be our lead investigator. So you've seen this before. Is she an attorney?
She is not an attorney.
And what state are we operating in?
I think they're in California.
And non-attorneys cannot own law firms in California.
Not
But they're going to make a full partner.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is a big no-no.
So just to be clear, Arizona, on the other hand, Arizona and Washington, D.C. are the ones that are exceptions to that rule. You can be a non-attorney and own a firm here or in Washington, D.C.
Exactly.
You want it. Also, you routinely steal our lunches from the refrigerator.
Okay,
I'll
I'll write everyone's briefs. Just
Like I
don't leave
said
me here with America's
earlier,
original pilgrim and her
You
fucking
want to know
Puritan
who you
partners.
can work with, and if the personalities clash,
You know what?
sorry, you're
Never
not joining
mind,
me on my
Koozie
adventure
McGee's
on my
dinner
new
will
firm.
destroy you.
There's a whole lot to be said for being likable.
Yeah.
And when you go in for a job interview and you come across as a extremely intelligent douchebag, you're not going to get the job.
You're absolutely not.
The smartest fucking A student, and I'm the one they're abandoning?
That's a gift from Golda Meir. Do you know what Golda is famous for saying? Not being beautiful was the true blessing. It forced me to develop my inner resource.
Likable doesn't just apply to getting the job. It also applies to getting the client.
Yeah.
Who's going to hire her?
Probably that's why she's opening her own law firm.
Well, I mean, who's going to hire her? What client is going to want to hire her? I mean, your client is coming through the door and you have showing this personality to him. I mean, maybe they're going, oh, she's a real pit bull. There are people that want that, but at the same time, a lot of people are just going to go, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah,
So
it's going to make it very difficult.
good luck with your own firm, lady.
It's very unwise. You are all about to find out what that's like.
I have no idea how much a model ship costs, but criminal damage, unless I believe the statute is over $2,500, is a felony in Arizona.
If I remember right.
I find this partner, I'm not just firing her. It's even if it's a misdemeanor,
Yeah.
I could get you disbarred. Maybe not if it's her first misdemeanor, but I don't know, throwing a tantrum like that, criminal damage in the partner's office, yeah, I could.
I would probably be thinking, do I need to order protection? Because if she's going to damage my property in my office, if she goes after me in the parking lot with my car tiles, more criminal damage, or go to my house, especially if they're closed, who knows?
Not to mention, I just thought, what if anything broke when she pushed it off the desk? More criminal damage. Also, now you're facing multiple counts.
Exactly.
This is just Kim Kardashian driving.
If I can make a comment about Kim Kardashian driving this car, no family law attorney that at least I know drives a Bentley.
No?
I wish I could drive a Bentley, but absolutely not. So are there some family law attorneys that own a nice mansion and have a fancy car like this? Sure, but we only see that in shows like this and maybe even very high asset net worth type of family law cases, but that's rare.
I think I remember reading was maybe 6 or 8 years ago, Jeff Bezos got a divorce, owner of Amazon.
Oh,
I'm going to guess his attorney might drive a Bentley.
I'm pretty sure he did. He does.
Khalid, getting him to fork over a cool $1 billion to his English ex after he threatened to behead her for cheating helped us start a charitable fund for abused women. Over to you, Anne.
Oh, that's easy.
And there's some
Latanya
law
Bailey.
firms that do
Media
start
mogul
charities.
divorced his wife because he found out she
Now,
didn't
the
finish
interesting
high
thing is
school.
that they're talking
She
about
was
all these
able to
high dollar
cash
cases,
out
and I
so
mentioned
big
Bezos's,
that she has
you
a
know,
Princeton
divorce
science
earlier.
wing.
But family law, for the most part, if I remember right, there's rules for most family law situations. You can't have like a contingency or anything like that. You guys bill by the hour, right?
No, we bill by the hour. There's no such thing as contingency fee. We often see contingency fees and correct me if I'm wrong, just personal injury type of law accident cases. But for family law, no, you're paying us for the work that we spend on because there's no contingency as to whether or not you're going to win or not. Like how I was talking with you earlier, where you want to control the outcome of the case. Perfect. Or you go to trial and the judge will rule one way or the other. There's no winners in family court. Absolutely none. You may get custody of your kids, and in that circumstance, you may get spousal maintenance, child support, or certain properties, but that's not really a win because at the end of the day, either both of you are walking away unhappy or not, you know. So
we're talking about these $1 billion cases, and they're going, oh yeah, that helped us start this charitable fund. But really, I mean, they billed by the hour for that $1 billion case. They didn't get a cut of the $1 billion.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
You can all give the Ozempic your mainlining a rest, you fat, treacherous lawn chairs.
All the way off douchebags.
Lawn chairs?
Here is to 10 more years of making Carl lose her goddamn mind.
So it's as I was saying earlier, when you're leaving a law firm, you just want to make sure that you keep good connections, good relationships. Sure, you might have a vendetta against someone that you used to work with, but this is not the way how to go about it. Like, this is the completely wrong way because it's just going to be a well-known, contentious, issue. There are some law firms in Arizona where they're going at each other similar to this. I'm not going to name any names, but there are some attorneys where they go at each other just like this. Sure, in my own practice with my colleagues, we will talk amongst ourselves saying, oh God, do we really have to deal with this particular attorney? But to go as far as sending a fruit basket and saying all of those words, That's a huge no-no.
A fruit basket laced with salmonella
Oh,
and fecal matter.
yeah, I gotta-
If I heard the conversation right.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
want to be clear. I could send a fruit basket, but you shouldn't send a fruit basket covered with salmonella and fecal matter.
Also, I could make a case for aggravated assault for that. Just saying.
Well, that's what I was thinking. There's more to this story. I think she's withholding.
No, literally, something smells funky. I think Cara might have actually shit on this thing.
Okay, no,
Y'all don't smell that?
We are going to toss this.
Okay, this
Okay,
weekend.
so they, other than it smelling funky on the fruit basket, they did mention, a wonderful case scenario. Oftentimes, I do talk out loud with my staff and with my colleague about our cases, just to get a debrief again and say, okay, what are we missing here? In this case, there's a prenup, and for those who are not familiar, a prenuptial agreement is an agreement that you come to before you get married, and you could outline, here's our sole and separate funds. And when I leave this relationship, this is where it goes. If we acquire community property, debts and everything, this is how it's going to be divided. You set the terms so that at the beginning, so if or when you get divorced, you follow that prenup agreement at the end of the day. And in this case, it sounds like if they get a divorce, she's going to just leave the marriage with nothing but the clothes on her back. And that's just screaming, okay, was this made under duress? Was there coercion? Was there hidden assets? And is this against public policy? Because at least in Arizona, if a prenuptial agreement is going to leave the other party destitute, where they're going to need assistance, most likely you can contest this prenup to show that we shouldn't be following this because I'm going to be leaving destitute. So that could mean spousal maintenance or acquiring certain assets, but you set the tone with the prenup.
So at least in our state, even if you were to put into a prenuptial agreement, you don't get any spousal maintenance. And if I remember right from law school back in the day, you can't even put no child support into a prenup. That's not something that you can agree to in advance, right?
Not as to child custody reasons. So anything child custody related, child support, legal decision making, or parenting time, that is out the door and is void. If you include it, sorry, it's out the door. And the reason why is because you have to consider what's in the best interest of the child at the time of the divorce. What is their best interest? What are the assets? What are their incomes, etc. Now with spousal maintenance, you can technically waive it. But it's just a matter of, okay, what are the circumstances now that could leave you destitute, like a stay-at-home parent? If you're a stay-at-home parent and your guys' plan is to have children and one party be a stay-at-home parent, I would be hesitant on telling my clients, go ahead and sign a prenup where it says you are waiving spousal, because we just don't know.
Right. Okay. So if they come to that agreement in the prenup and they say no spousal maintenance, but when it comes time for the divorce, say mom has been a stay-at-home mom the entire time, she's had no career, she has high school education only, all of the factors that would kind of factor to point to spousal maintenance, the court can still look at it and go, you made the agreement, but it makes absolutely no sense for this situation.
That is a giant risk to play. So
It's clear from the start that I wasn't enough for him, so he brought in a third, Emma.
That's got to be painful, seeing your partner lust after someone else.
Yeah, it will be for him. You and Emma and I fell in love. She's everything to me. She's given me back myself.
I've actually had a case where that was the scenario that happened.
I'm listening.
So I had a case where they decided mutually to open up their marriage. They became a quadruplet. I think that's the correct term, where each spouse had their boyfriend, girlfriend, right? And it got to the point where it was working, and then they communally raised their children that they have separately, not with the other spouse. So each party, each couple, they were married, and they decided, let's date all each other and raise our separate kids together. And at some point, it got to the point where one wife and one husband thought, oh yeah, let's leave together and leave our spouses. Well, joke's on them because the wives left for each other and then got a divorce.
No, you got to be kidding me. Come on.
I'm not kidding.
That sounds like something you'd see on the TV show. That was real?
It was real.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So in family law, we get to see a little bit of everything. So
I'm supposed to get the crazy cases. I do criminal work. I'm supposed to get the crazy cases.
no, family law also gets crazy cases all the time.
You let us worry about the wolf, while you worry about coming up with a number that accurately reflects what he owes you after a lifetime of service to his goddamn dreams.
And may I suggest?
Would you call everything she
each
just
time
said
the
legal
memory
advice?
comes up where you have to reach for that
Which part?
handkerchief?
Because it was all like, what? It's not necessarily legal advice. It's more of reframing the whole entire situation for your client. I had to do this. I had to tell my client, you need to restructure how you're thinking about yourself because you need to learn your worth.
Let me restate my question then, counselor. Would you say that what she just did was the role of a non-attorney in that room?
Oh, that is a okay.
That's what I was getting.
I gotta remember, she's a private investigator in this role. That's right. So she shouldn't be giving any type of advice when it comes to how her legal case should go.
I need a California lawyer. That's where we were married. We still have the house in Montecito, which is where we live half the time when we're not living in New York. All right, just calm, breathe.
Okay.
Everything's going to be all right. Just tell me what's going on. What's going on?
I've
It's
had,
not
Okay,
my
so wait,
husband.
based on your experience and what you heard in the 10 seconds, where is she domiciled?
so right. So if they're living half the time in New York, they can certainly file in California. If that was the certain case here in Arizona, we just need 90 days for both parties to reside here. If you have children involved, it has to be 6 consecutive months. So technically, California could have jurisdiction. And on top of that, they have a house there, from what she said, and they only live in New York maybe half the time of the year. Okay, they got it. As far as receiving phone calls in the heat of the moment where people have been fighting, I could count one time where I've had to do that. And then with the other hand, grab the phone to make sure, okay, do I need to call the police for this particular client? And right now, it looks like this is the first time random phone call, and she's just trying to get information to know, who are you? I don't know you.
How do you have the crazy stories? I work with criminals, and you have crazier stories than I do.
We like to delve into anything.
Yikes.
Crazy is family law, so we like crazy.
As the old expression goes, criminal defense is bad people. I don't call them that. But the old expression says bad people on their best behavior. Family law is good people on their worst behavior.
That is exactly what it is.
My husband bought himself a Rembrandt, and he wants nothing in the house but the painting. Nothing, including me.
So he wants a divorce because he bought a Rembrandt. Why?
Over a small flirtation. Innocent.
Okay, they're your deal tickets. Where are they? Where are they now?
Yes.
In my dressing room, off the bedroom. In here.
Stay right where you are. Text me your address, and I'll be on the next plane.
All right. So she brought up jewelry and saying that could be her next meal ticket. Often, sometimes when there's a heat of the moment and you need to leave fast, what is often what you're trying to grab is, hard money, cash that you have in hand as much as possible so that you can get to a safe environment, new housing, set up a new bank account. And in this case, it sounds like grab the jewelry, because if she has great taste, that means that's a lot of dollar signs to sustain her throughout litigation if she has to sell at the same time. Also, in her conversation when she was trying to get her name and her husband's name, I would be most likely at my computer or asking my legal assistant to run a conflict check, because you want to make sure that you're not representing someone that you already have a prior relationship with. Where, in my situation where I'm in a big firm where it has multiple facets of areas of law, I want to make sure that we don't represent the husband in this scenario in a different case, because that would be a conflict of interest. And it would be on him to waive that conflict if we were to represent his wife.
So if I'm her attorney and this is a bar complaint for a conflict, do you think I could use the defense of, well, we only do family law and we only represent women, so I knew there could not be a conflict with him?
Actually, yes, as long as you can prove that you only represent women in your firm. And if you're well known for that, okay.
Boom, I won the case, Josefa.
Yeah, you won.
We have one, Ms. Ronson.
No,
Do
but
you know many family law attorneys with private jets?
No.
No?
No.
With Mr. Chalmers.
Another circumstance of I wish I had a private jet for my firm, my company, to just take me wherever I want. I could just hop on a jet to go see a client across the country.
hello, I'm here to see Mrs. Baskin. She's expecting me, Liberty Ronson.
And another issue, I would want to make sure that my attorney is also licensed in the state that I'm also living in. So if there's an issue where, okay, California, in this scenario, kicks you back, saying, no, New York has jurisdiction, I would hope my attorney has dual state licenses, both in California and in this case, New York.
Thing that I thought of as she's on this airplane, okay, she's on this call with this client. She's hearing in the background, we're hearing at least the husband yelling, right? It was kind of muffled and whatever. But you can at least call the police knowing that you've got like a 6-hour plane ride ahead of you and that angry husband is outside banging on the door at that moment.
I would.
Yeah, I would too.
I would, because you don't know if that banging on the door is going to lead to anything else. You just don't know.
And he can at least be charged with disorderly conduct, domestic violence in this state. I don't know about California law, but he could definitely get that.
Absolutely.
For public humiliation, she would be out on her ass.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Last I checked, out on her ass isn't exactly legally binding terminology, so if you'll excuse me, I do have an appointment with your wife on the second floor, is it? Yes, thanks.
So you can have an infidelity clause in your prenuptial agreement. It's just a matter of, okay, now you got to prove it. And you could put certain circumstances of what is classified as infidelity. You know, is it just text messages? Is it emotional connection? Which, how can you prove there is an emotional connection? Is there actual sexual intercourse? You know, what is it? So you can classify what it could be.
Wait, so have you actually seen prenups that have gone that far into it to say like making out is cheating? Really?
And I wrote it.
Oh, okay. So like, well, and then do we have a definition of making out?
Yes,
like,
we do.
Is it several kisses in a row or like?
Yeah, it's I think I classified making out as kissing for longer than 3 seconds and with or without tongue.
Yikes. So wait. So then theoretically, could the two people, the cheaters, could they kiss for like 2 seconds at a time, several times?
Yeah.
And not violate the prenup?
Well, I had to really classify on how many times, this has to happen. If it's a one-time occurrence, okay, but it cannot be coupled with any of the other circumstances. If it's a one-time occurrence, that is it, and it never happened again, okay. But that's what this particular couple said was fine if that were to happen. A mistake is a mistake. But if that mistake keeps on happening, is it really a mistake? No, it's not. So you can have an infidelity clause.
Okay, and a very specific one.
Very specific.
Sorry, I missed our anniversary. Sorry, I missed your birthday. Oh, sorry, I missed your MRI.
Okay, so going back to what prenups say or what they typically say, if you give a gift to your spouse, so she's going through this saying these are all sorry gifts, right? So this is him specifically saying, to me anyway, this is your property. Is there going to be a prenup clause for that saying like, no, any gift that I give you is actually still my property if you leave?
Honestly, no. It's the contrary. The gift clause that I've often seen in prenups still say, if I gift you something, that is your sole and separate property. Because there is a give and take. If you're going to gift me, of course, I want to keep it. So if there's like expensive like jewelry that was gifted to me during my marriage, I want to make sure I could keep it at the end of the day. So I've never seen, for now, knock on wood, no prenup that says if you were gifted jewelry, a car, a house, that's going to stay my sole and separate property. I've never seen it.
I'm going to start writing prenups because I think that's a good clause.
Forgive me, I thought there'd be a few pieces, but I wasn't exactly expecting Alibaba's cave.
So I think she already told her that it was her sole and separate property. So now she has maybe $40 million to support herself despite the prenuptial agreement.
And all of the holes that you could probably poke in it.
And all the holes, yeah.
Because you're good at what you do. All right. We're not going to get to the whole episode today, but that's okay. So this was episode 1 of All's Fair. It's an entertaining show. I'm going to give it that. Not the most realistic thing I've ever seen in my life, but it's entertaining for sure.
Yeah, it's absolutely entertaining. I think we had a good time in the first half of it to show how ridiculous it can be. I don't think that the rest of the series is going to be really legal based. It's not going to be like Matlock. It's not going to be like Lincoln Lawyer, which is what I've heard to be very close to actual fact.
I've reviewed a few of those. Yeah.
So All's Fair. If you are down to watch and have fun, this is the show.
Well, check out the other episode that I did with Josefa, especially if you want to know a little more about family law. And we will see you next time.
All right. Thank you.